afternoon and happy Saturday to all of your sunshiny faces, guys. We've been all over the place today. We went to Valley Produce, Caputo's, and Aldi. Then my mom has had like a stomach bug or food poisoning or something like that. So we ended up out at, we came home, then we went out to Menards to like get some stomach stuff. And they didn't have the kind of stomach stuff my mom wanted. So we went to Menards, then we ended up back at Jewel. I forgot, what's it called? Lettuce. So we ended up getting lettuce and stomach stuff at Jewel, which was actually kind of good because they had a buy one get one 50% off. So we got two different kinds in case like one was better than the other or whatever. And they were like both at the same price. I think one was $5.50, the other was $5.99. So we like got $2.75 I think off of one of them. And then we came back and we ended up, I put away all the groceries earlier, but we came back and I'll show you guys. We got the these like cages for the Gladioluses, and I'll show you guys how they look so far to help them stand up, because they're kind of like tipping over and they don't look the best right now, like wilty and stuff like that. I don't know if it's that they need more water too, or if it's just that, like, I mean, ours did it last year too, but I haven't grown them enough to realize like, oh, are they tipping over because like either they're too heavy or because they need more like water or what it is. But we got these things. They look like they're actually going to work pretty well. They were kind of a pain to get started, but it's called Grow Through Grid or something like that. It's actually a grid, and then they can each come up through like a different little hole. So I'll show you guys them. And then 4 of them are almost ready to start blooming, like probably within the next week maybe or so they might start, or 2 weeks, I'm not really sure. But so here they are. They look better than the wilty mess that they looked earlier. They kind of still look a little messy, but you guys can see here like these are already almost starting to bloom already. But we got this kind of ingenious little thing, and since we planted them in a clump they'll work well. And then the other one on the other side too, over here we got this one set up, which this one's actually got 3 already that have started on them. So this is, like I said, hopefully this works out pretty well. We tried to, let's see, split like some of them so each different bulb has got like a different hole kind of, so that they come through, and as they keep growing the leaves won't get split in between those, because that's kind of what my worry is. We could have gotten one that was just like a circle, but this is what we ended up with. So I need to get in here and weed a little bit. We got some grass coming in some of these. I kind of went over it a little bit yesterday. It doesn't look quite as bad, but yep, I thought I'd show you guys that, our little bulbs that are coming up. Well guys, it's a little bit later and I'm gonna take a shower and get to bed. Yeah, so I showed you guys those like cages for the Gladioluses, which I'm really excited because they look like last year we got a set of bulbs, and I think 2 of them ended up, or maybe 3 of them ended up actually growing. Only one of them had enough time to bloom because I planted them so late last year, and they're so pretty. Like, I love the way they look, but I really haven't gotten a chance to like see them other than the one that I had, but it had the same problem. It was like drooping and falling over and everything like that, and like growing sideways and stuff. But like, if you guys saw on some of the plants, they're like growing and then they got like too heavy, so they started doing this, but then they kept going up because they're trying to like get towards the sun, you know. And so the plant's like growing like this, but then it's like started growing this way, so it was like, it just looked horrible. So that's why now that they're actually standing up, hopefully they'll be going up a little bit more, instead of like all weird like angles and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that that thing kind of works well. They were $4.50 I think each, and we got 2 because we planted them in 2 sets. But I got the pack of bulbs from Aldi. It came with I think 2 dahlias, and it had like 28 or 24 of the Gladioluses, and I think it had like 10 cornflowers, I think they're called. I've never grown those. I really don't even know what they look like. They're kind of still coming up and they don't look too bad, but they're much shorter. At least as of right now. I don't know how tall they're supposed to get, but the Gladioluses, they just like shoot up like crazy. And like I was reading even too, they're one of the tallest bulb plants that you can really plant. But like I said, I don't really know about corn. I think they're called cornflowers. Like how big they get or anything like that really. So yeah, but I like having that height of the gladiolus is actually in the flower bed, because we've got like the bushes in there and stuff like that, but then all the other plants, and then they just kind of like stand out like crazy. And now that they're like in a clump, and better that they're in a clump where they're, you know, staying together instead of all falling over and flopping all over the place and stuff like that, they look a lot better too. So that's why I'm pretty happy about that and getting that today as well. Like I told you, we got all the grocery shopping done and everything like that. And honestly guys, I had so much extra time today because I got up early. We didn't get to the store super early, but we got like everything done pretty fast this week. And so like by the time we got home, we had like so much extra time. I was like, honestly, it feels like today's Sunday. Like I feel like, oh, I gotta get to bed early because we have to babysit tomorrow. Like I don't. Like I mean, I'm still going to bed actually at a pretty decent hour, but it's not like I'm like, oh, I gotta be in bed, you know, and I have to make sure I get up in the morning and stuff like that. But this week is gonna be like Jack's last week of being able to babysit. But the thing is, he'll be here actually all in the afternoon since he doesn't have football. But like I said, the only problem is that we don't have like, you know, he won't be here because he'll be in school for the next 3 weeks after that, while the little boy we're babysitting for isn't going to be. So I'm by myself for the next 3 weeks, which is like okay, but like Jack like knows like the video games and stuff like that, because normally like in the morning they'll play like Minecraft or something like that for a little while and like watch a movie or something like that. That's normally what we do. Have breakfast, watch a movie, and then they'll play Minecraft for a little while, and then we'll have lunch, and like then the rest of the afternoon we end up doing like activities and stuff like that, depending on what it is. But normally Jack's really helpful about too, like when they did like, you know, the squirt gun fights and, you know, even the water play and stuff like that in the backyard, like and entertaining and stuff like that. And like I don't want to be running through the sprinkler. Like Jack, I feel like is still like kind of like young enough where like that's still a little not entertaining, but like he's just like, you know, kind of being himself like around with the little, you know, kids and stuff like that. And so it's, you know, like I feel like he fits better to that. Me, I'm like, do I really have to get up right now? Like I don't want to get up and go run through this sprinkler and stuff like that. Like I don't know, I'm just not like, I never, honestly never liked playing in the sprinkler. Like I like found it really like I'd run through it like 3 times and be like, okay, this is boring, like I want to go do something else now. Like I used to like set stuff up with like the hose and stuff like that, and like you know, like do other kind of like water play things, you know, in the summer and stuff like that. But I never like enjoyed like playing in the sprinkler. We had a slip and slide for a while and I really liked doing that, but again, like I wouldn't be able to do that now if we still had it. Like, you know, Jack probably would though, but like me, I'm too old. Like I would not want to like end up hurting something because I'm sliding on it like wrong or something like that, like my back or my neck or something. And so like, yeah, I feel like though Jack is still like young enough where he'd be like, oh, this is still fun, you know, kind of thing, which is kind of what he was doing like in the backyard, and like is a good like younger but like, you know, still a good entertainer of like younger kids. And so I felt like that's like, you know, he's a good age for that. And so like I don't really know what we're gonna do when I'm not, you know, when it's just me by myself. I'm gonna be like, okay, we can read a book, and like, you want to read some more books? Like, you know, that's really what I'm, you know, and coloring and stuff like that. But you know, he and Jack like to, you know, run around in the backyard and like I said, play squirt guns, or, you know, go and do I don't even know, like, you know, playing different games and stuff like that. Like I said, Jack's just really good at entertaining and like really good at like that kind of stuff. And like the fact that like I'll just be by myself is like, yeah, this is, I'm, you know, if it was like a week or something like that, I'd be like, oh, you know, that's okay, whatever. But it's like 3 weeks. Like the first week I'm gonna run out of things to do like alone, and then, you know, trying to figure out what to do. So yeah, guys, I need to start like making a head plan now, planning ahead now. What did I just say? I said that backwards. Anyways, yeah, guys, so like I said, I'm honestly like gonna try and like look stuff up and figure out things to do. And like if it starts getting a little bit cooler out, which I don't know how cool it's supposed to be, but I was thinking like, oh, maybe we can like bake muffins, or like, you know, make cookies or something, you know, like something else like that could also be kind of entertaining and things like that, and could take a long time, you know, to do and to make and stuff like that. Not that making cookies take a long time, but like something that like isn't like, you know, attention span isn't gone in like 5 seconds, you know, or something like that. Because that's like one of the things Jack's really good at too, is like, okay, like let's, and I think I'm good at figuring it out too, like, okay, if he's starting to kind of lose interest in this, like let's try and figure out, like let's change it up a little bit. And like, you know, we were doing this marble tower thing, and you know, he was like, after like maybe about like 20 or so minutes of playing with it, he's like, oh, I'm kind of like getting bored. And I was like, okay. It's like, how about if we do this, and how about if we do a race instead, you know, or something like that, you know, whatever. And then he's like, oh, that sounds fun, you know. So like switching it up and like, you know, kind of making it so it's not the exact same thing he was doing, but changing it so that it's still, he's still playing with the same thing, or like even doing a different activity kind of using the same thing. But that's why I like I'm trying to figure out like what are like something that we can do that has different options, instead of doing just one thing the whole time, or you know, like being on a linear path, something that can have different you know, options to do. And so that's what I'm trying to figure out. I haven't found a whole ton of things that have been really like, you know, playing a board game, like you play it once and then you're kind of done playing it. Like you can't play it like 5 or 6 or 7 times, you know, after you've done it one time, you know. And so that's why I'm trying to, I need to, like I said, find some more ideas, and maybe even go up in our attic and try and figure out like, okay, what do we have up here, and try and figure some things out like that. So anyways though, guys, that's maybe even what I'm gonna try and do tomorrow too, and like go up in the attic and try and plan ahead, even though this week will be okay, but then it's the following week after that. But maybe try and implement some ideas and see how much it's piquing his interest doing them, like while Jack's still here, and then so we can, like I said, figure it out. Because the hard thing is too, like me and Jack are babysitting together, I might be like, Jack, I'm gonna run up into the attic to go grab this stuff, and I might be up there for like 10 or 15 minutes. Like if he's here and like I don't want to be like up in the attic looking for stuff and be gone for like 15 minutes, and he's like, I've had to go to the bathroom for the last 15 minutes, you know, or something, or like I needed this, or you know, something. And so like I don't want to leave him downstairs by himself. So that's why it's like really helpful. But like I have to plan ahead now if it's just gonna be me by myself. So yeah, this will be interesting. And like I said, it's interesting that it'll be at least, I think, 3 weeks. I think that's, he goes back to school, like I said, beginning of September or something. So yeah, guys. Anyways, though, I'll see you all on tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshine faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.